Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Friday, January 27th, 2012. There's a lot to cover, so we're going to get right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the U.S. dollar index. You're going to notice that it is trading lower this morning. Whenever the dollar trades lower, that usually means the futures will trade up a little bit, and that is the case this morning. Futures are trading higher by about a point and a half. They were down to around the 13.11 level an overnight trade and have really rallied back higher as the dollar has declined. And now futures settling in here just up about a point and a half at the moment, right around 1360, 1650 per contract. So, we're holding steady on a Friday morning. There's some economic data due out shortly. You're going to get GDP out in about 15 more minutes. Right now it's about 8:16 a.m. East Coast time. So in about 15 minutes, you'll get the U.S. GDP report. So that's, people are waiting on that one, but I don't really think it's a big market mover. I just think the market is really moving more in line with the dollar. Now, real quick, couple things to go over. Looks like there was some news out of Europe this morning. Looks like Italy had a successful short bond auction. Looks like they sold, I believe, $11 billion worth of treasury bills, or excuse me, 11 billion euro worth of treasury bills this morning at a decent yield. Yield looks like it was just under 2%. So that seems to be a positive for Europe. European markets are basically flat at the moment. But you did have Spanish unemployment jump to a new high. So it's right around 23% in the fourth quarter. That is problematic and continues to be problematic. Also, there's no resolution in Greece. However, there's talk that there is going to be resolution there for a Greek haircut with private investors. Who knows? I really couldn't make heads or tails out of that stuff anymore. You've been hearing about it for so long. The problem after Greece is Portugal, and after Portugal it's Spain, and then it's Italy, and then it's all the domino effect again, all over again. So again, Europe is holding steady right now. Futures are holding steady, but we always have to be a little bit aware of what can go on in the European Union from day to day. But right now, markets don't seem to be too worried about it, and they're holding steady just ahead of the opening bell. And right now, we're trading at basically up a point and a half to around the 1316.50 level on the S&P futures. Alrighty, let's go over to gold. Gold has been very strong as of late. This morning, you're seeing a little bit of activity there. Nothing tremendous, nothing terrible. But basically, gold is basically just down 3 points today to 1726. It did have that huge move after the Fed announcement on Wednesday. Yesterday, it really just paused. Today, gold looks like it is just pausing so far. It looks like you have oil up a little bit. Let's take a look at the USO. You'll see that the USO is trading at 38.48. Looks like spot crude is trading up just a little bit, about 40 cents at the moment, right to around the $100 per barrel mark on WTI West Texas crude. So again, crude just hovering here at $100 a barrel. You have to wonder how long $100 a barrel oil is problematic for the economy. But so far, the economy's held it pretty well, not really shaking it off. We've been above 90 for a long, long time now, a couple of months actually. So right now, the market's holding steady, and oil's sitting right around $100 a barrel. We'll watch that. If the dollar strengthens, then you got to watch for oil to come down. If the dollar falls, then oil should inflate and trade higher. Okay. There also is some news out of Iran saying Iran's willing to go into some peace talks. We'll see if that's true. I'm not really sure, but either way, that's what's going on at the moment. Now let's get into some stocks in the news. We'll start off with Juniper Networks. This is a major networking player. Juniper Networks getting hit. Yesterday it closed at $22.37. And in the after hours reported earnings, and you can see the stock trading down to around $20.26. Now, let me give you some levels on Juniper that I have. This is the deal. If Juniper Networks comes down and closes, I guess, below $20.43, you're going to watch for some more support around $19.60. There'll be support there. After that, though, this stock could go all the way back down to $18 and possibly $17.50. So, again, not a pretty move for Juniper today. We'll see if the stock can recover a little bit. It does have a fair amount of support where it is right now. But if it closes below 2040, You got to be careful there. It's going to go to 1960 and then 18 bucks, and then it's down to 1750. So not a pretty morning for Juniper Networks this morning. Numbers were a little bit disappointing, I suppose. Let's take a look at another leading cloud computing networking player. This is Riverbed. RVBD is the ticker symbol. You're going to see this stock is getting hammered this morning. Yesterday's stock closed around $30, $29.92. Today it is trading at $25.81. That is a shellacking. That stock is getting mauled this morning. Here's the levels that you want to watch Riverbed. Riverbed will have short-term support. And I do say short-term, right around $25.40. If the stock goes below there, you're looking at $24.28, and then ultimately down to around the $22.80 level. Okay, so Riverbed is getting hit this morning. That is a big stiff decline, and the stock is not really showing us much strength in the pre-market. So be careful there. Now, Starbucks had some news yesterday. I believe they reported earnings. Stock closed at $48.34. It's trading at $47.60. Not that big a deal. The stock is down less than $1. Not really that big a deal. We won't make much out of it. Still in an uptrend. Starbucks is still holding up pretty well at the moment, so we're really not going to make too much out of that one. Let's take a look at Ford Motors. Ford reported earnings this morning. Stock closed at $12.79 yesterday, and today it is getting hit, trading down to $12.20. So Ford taking it on the chin a little bit. We'll have a little bit of short-term support around the $12 area, maybe $11.90. Let me just see what else I have here on Ford. I know I have some levels. Yeah, watch that 1190 level, and then you're going to watch 1150 and all the way down to the 50 moving average on the daily chart, which is $11.15. There will be good support. If it fails to hold that, then it's going to 1050. But I like that $11.15 level if Ford gets there. You also have a daily chart 50 moving average around there, so watch for $11.15. I'm not sure it gets that far down. In the interim, it does have pretty decent support right around that 1190 level also. So, but Ford is getting hit this morning, down about 50 cents or so. That's a pretty decent little decline to start the morning. Let's take a look at KLAC. This is a leading semiconductor equipment maker. Stock is having a good morning. I do not see much more upside in this stock, though. Maybe this stock gets up to 53, 53.10. Right there, though, that's all I see, 53.10. The stock will need to pull back. Okay, so again, it's a decent gap up this morning. You want to respect it, but I'm just not sure it got much more mustard on the sandwich to get above that 53 level. Okay, so watch that area. Let's take a look at VeriSign. VeriSign got really hit hard yesterday after the close. Today the stock, though, is trading up a little bit. No real volume here, so you can't make much out of this little gap up over here. But yesterday after the close, it was really hit hard. Today, it's holding steady. So we'll leave it at that. VeriSign daily chart looks fine. If the stock gets above 37, it actually looks somewhat on the stronger side. But you got to be a little bit careful here anytime you have earnings like this and the stock is all over the map. So be a little bit on the cautious side. Here was a takeover play this morning. This stock got bought out, I believe, by Eastman Chemical, if I'm not mistaken. Do not touch it. There's nothing to do here. This is Solutia, ticker symbol SOA. You can just see it's trading up here. This is the buyout price. Got taken out for a big $8-9 premium. Just leave it alone. There's really nothing to do there. Let's take a look at Transocean. Transocean having not really doing all that much here. It looks like yesterday after the bell it had a real big pop and it has come back in a little bit. But nonetheless, stock is up nicely from yesterday's close. Closed at 47.26. Stock is trading at 50.44. So decent little pop there. I think Transocean is also very, very extended. I don't see much more upside here. Maybe $51. It could get up to that level. Maybe a little bit over 51, maybe 52. I take that back. But really, the stock is already extended and overbought. Okay, so you got to be a little bit careful there. Let's take a look at ABAX. Yeah, not a lot of volume. Looks like the stock closed yesterday at 29.12. It's trading at 26.50. There's a fair amount of support down here around the 26 level, maybe even a little bit lower than that, 25.62. So watch that area of support. That don't hold though. This stock can go all the way back down to 24.50, and that would be its next big support area. Okay, so there's some short-term intraday bounce levels around these areas, but that's about all that I'm seeing on this. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. I think I've did quite a few stocks. Um, Really, other than that, you got to watch for GDP at 8:30. I believe there is also some other economic news that is going to be released a little bit later, but GDP is the big one. You're going to probably have usually we get some kind of consumer sentiment report or something like that, but GDP is the big one, and that's at 8:30. Alrighty, everybody, it's 8:26 right now. I will say goodbye. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the charts Monday morning. Take care, everybody.